Hello again, welcome to today's attempt at the Time Guesser. This is the puzzle that tests your history knowledge and your geography knowledge. We're given a historic photo. We have to say where in the world it took place, and we also have to say when the photo was taken. It could be as early as 1900 or as late as this year. Now, we start, presumably, somewhere in Norway. I definitely recognise that flag. So let's zoom in a bit and go for Oslo, because it could be right at the top of Norway, but it's foolish to go somewhere further north because I think it's more likely to be in Oslo. I could go somewhere in the middle to minimise the distance, but we'll go for Oslo. Now, are there any clues about when this was? 1 hour time photo. It looks like the 90s or 80s to me. I don't know about you. It's not a black and white photo. I don't know what they're celebrating. Maybe getting their first ever points in Eurovision after 1,000,000 null points. I don't know. Let's just go for... Let's go 84. Why not? It was 88. I almost went for 88 because it's the year I was born in. I should have done. But 116 kilometres away, I was in the right country, so I get quite a lot of points for the location. And I was only 4 years off. That means I get quite a lot of points for the year. 8,684 out of 10,000 for that one. As I keep saying when I play this game, I'm usually happy if I get over 50%. So that is a good start. This is Japanese writing. That is suspicious. Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. The APEC, the 26th APEC welcome dinner. I don't know how many APEC meetings there have been by now. I feel like, that's definitely Japanese, so we're definitely going to have to go in Japan. Let's go for Tokyo. It's probably in a smaller city somewhere, but Tokyo is as good a guess as any. When do I think this was taken? I feel like he looks really familiar. I feel like he's an American politician. I can't remember his name. But I feel like that means it would have been within the last 10 years. Let's try 2016 again. It's a good guess as any. I feel like I'll be within a decade or so I won't lose too many points. I was 2 years off. It was John Kerry, yeah, American politician. That's who I was thinking of. So I was super close. Oh, it was Beijing rather than... Oh, that's annoying. I thought that is Japanese, isn't it, rather than Chinese writing? I don't know. I suppose it could be Japanese writing, even if it's in China. That's annoying. They tricked me a little bit there, or maybe I tricked myself. Either way, not too many points for location, but still over 50% in total for that question. So we move on to number 3. There are 5 in total, as you can't see because it's behind my face, but if you've seen this before, you'll know there's 5. Now, that is an American street sign. Oh, it says US on it. I was thinking I recognise the shape, but no, it says US, so I didn't even have to recognise the shape. That is the name of a street, but I can't make it out. That says probate judge. So this is the courthouse of some American city, isn't it? Goodness knows when this was taken, or goodness knows which US city it is. Let's go for Chicago, because I went for Chicago yesterday when it was an American one, but I had no idea about, and it wasn't a complete disaster. Because again, if it's somewhere on the East Coast, I'm not a million miles away, and if it's on the West Coast, I'll at least rescue a few points. So we'll go for Chicago. And there's, overhead wires and things like that. This is pretty old. They do sometimes have events from close to 1900. Do I really think that's that old? I think there's too many cars around for it to be that old. So let's go post-war. Let's go 1950 and hope that it's not much earlier. Oh, it was 1940. It wasn't actually post-war, but only 10 years off is not a complete disaster. And it was Ohio, so it was closer to East Coast from West Coast, but I still was close enough to rescue a bunch of points for the location. So again, about 2/3 of the points. That is more than 50%. Now, where are we going? This is a photo, a different orientation. That makes it more difficult to zoom in. Do I recognise this at all? Are there any clues? Well, I don't know about the location, but the year, there's quite a lot of cars there. So it's clearly at a time where the car was a bit more affordable to a lot of people. So I don't think it's more than 50 years ago, let's say. They are fighting, are they? Are they rioting? Are they celebrating something? Are they burning somebody or something? I do not know. Are there any flags anywhere? I cannot see any. This looks like maybe the Middle East? It looks more like Asia than Africa to me, but I could be wrong. I'm gonna go, let's go Turkmenistan, because I'm kind of covered then. I'm not a million miles away for Iraq or Iran, but also if it turns out that it's a bit further east, then I'm not a million miles away either. So we'll go here, just a random point on the map. And then when do I reckon these were? Doesn't look like the most modern photo, but as I said, there's a bunch of cars, so it can't be too old. Let's just go 1990 and hope that I'm not completely embarrassing myself. Oh, it was really close, and I did say Iran. Okay, so I was at least pretty close on the location, but it was a lot more recent than I thought it might be. I should have stuck with my instinct that lots of cars means it's more recent. But I just couldn't quite tell. I'm going to blame the resolution of the photo. But I mean, that really could have been any year, I think. I'm not sure if there were any specific clues. That's my excuse anyway. So we got less than 50% on that one, but I think we're still definitely over 50% overall. Let's hope the last one's not too difficult. That is Muhammad Ali? Maybe, hopefully. And I mean, I don't know where this would have been taken though. He has just landed somewhere for a fight. Presumably, if it is Muhammad Ali, he's landed before or after the rumble in the jungle. But it could be his way home. There's a massive crowd there. How am I supposed to know? Let's go somewhere in America. Because I think I'm going to have to go quite far south. Because if it is... I feel like he did do some fights in South America. This is just a hopeless guess. Let's go for Houston and hope that if it is somewhere in South America, I'm just about close enough to get some points. I don't think I will be. And then as for what year it was, I mean 1962 is as good a guess as any, because it would have been somewhere between 1950 and 1980, I think. Don't really know exactly. Let's maybe move it a bit later. Let's try 68. But this is not the easy finish that I was hoping for. However, you can see up here I've already got 25,000, so I have, even if I score 0 on this, I'm over 50%. And that's lucky, because there is a decent chance I might score 0 on this. I'm not confident, but here we go. It was Muhammad Ali. At least I got the right person. I was only 3 years off, that's good. And he touched down at Zurich Airport. How on earth was I supposed to know that? Oh, I know how I was supposed to know that, because it says Swiss Air on the plane. I cannot believe I didn't work out that there was a missing S from the start of it. It just says Swiss Air, but obviously there was a clue because it's meant to be Swiss. In my defence, it still could have been somewhere that wasn't Switzerland, because he could have just flown from Switzerland to somewhere. But I cannot believe that I messed that location up so much. I'm very lucky to still get 12 for that. At least I rescued quite a lot of points by being pretty close with the year. Oh dear, that was terrible. But I didn't completely embarrass myself, because it was the person I said it was, and it was roughly the year I said it was. So, not a complete disaster, and it does mean we have ended with a final score just shy of 30,000. That's a little bit disappointing. Not quite the 60% mark, but very close to it. And higher than the 50% mark that I said I was aiming for. So, not totally useless. Not brilliant, but not totally useless. Let me know how you got on if you attempted this. Let me know if you were shouting different things at the screen. If you haven't attempted this but you just enjoyed watching it. Thank you for watching, especially if you got this far, and bye for now.